All right. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you Reverend Jeff Bird, Minister of Religious Science, and he's going to deliver a message today.
Make it a little more uplifting by going this way. We're going to be talking about possibilities today, and one of the possibilities that might be coming up is Victoria's talking about doing a mashup of spiritual songs based on ZZ Top. Yes. So we will wait for that later this year and see. ZZ Top? Okay. Oh, it's always nice to gather with everybody here and feel the energy which starts over there in the morning and then comes across once we can get you away from over there to do that. So before we step into this exploration today, let's take a look at where we've been. This month we've experienced our awareness beyond physical senses to recognize 6 deeper senses, which you may have heard in the poem. First being imagination, will, intuition, perception, memory, and reason. These are deep senses that we can use. They help shape our experience of life and guide us toward a greater insight, creativity, and possibility. So first, let's talk about intention. Creating with the power of choice. At the foundation of our spiritual journey is choice, the recognition that we are co-creators of our reality. Every moment presents an opportunity to choose thoughts, beliefs, and actions that either expand or limit our experience. By embracing this truth, we step into our personal responsibility, knowing that life is not happening to us, it is responding to us. Imagination, the divine playground of possibility. Albert Einstein was quoted earlier this month as saying, imagination is more important than knowledge. Why? Because imagination allows us to see beyond our current conditions and tap into the infinite realm of possibilities. It's through imagination that new realities are born, and we align with the creative mind of spirit. Through visioning, spiritual practice, and affirmative prayer, we engage the imagination as a tool for divine manifestation. If we can conceive it, we can achieve it. How many of you have read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as a kid? That was written in the 1800s, and he's talking about a submarine. No way back then. Or how many of you had a StarTAC flip phone? Remember Star Trek? Beam me up, Scotty? All that stuff. So if you can think about it, and we've got all kinds of stuff happening right now that we may not be here in 100 years when it happens, but this stuff is just, we need to just be open to that possibility. Now, will is the driving force of commitment. Imagination alone is not enough. Without spiritual will, our dreams remain unmanifested ideas. Will is the force that sustains our commitment, allowing us to move beyond doubt, resistance, and old patterns. If imagination is the vision, will is the fuel. It's what keeps us steady in faith, our prayers and practices, even when circumstances challenge us. Now, developing spiritual will requires some things. Consistent spiritual practice, such as meditation, prayer, and affirmations. A willingness to release limiting habits and embrace new, empowering ones. And that's a hard one to release at times. And trust in divine timing, knowing that perseverance aligns us with our highest good. By engaging willpower aligned with divine purpose, we can create momentum and see our dreams unfold. Intuition, the soul's inner compass. Intuition is the sacred whisper of the divine, the deep knowing that arises when we are in alignment with our truth. While logic and reason serve us in many ways, intuition connects us directly with spirit, offering wisdom beyond intellect. So to cultivate intuition, you need to listen in stillness, create space for divine guidance, trust first impressions. Spirit speaks in the moment. Act on our inner nudges. Intuition directs us to our highest path. When we honor our imaginative vision, fuel it with will, and then trust our intuitions, we live in harmony with divine intelligence, bringing forth a life of joy, abundance, and purpose. Perception, shaping your reality through spiritual understanding. Perception is not merely an observation, it is creation. How we interpret our experiences determine how we really live. Shakespeare captured this moment of truth in Hamlet. There is nothing good or bad, but only thinking makes it so. Our perception influences our beliefs influence our actions, and our actions shape our lives. When we shift our perspective to align with divine truth, to see the abundance, possibility, and love, our experience transforms accordingly. Memory, the center of divine operation. Most of us think of memory as something tied to the past, but what if we could memorize forward? By vividly imagining the life we desire and embracing the emotions of it, already living it, we begin to embody that reality. Once you imagine being the person living the life you want to live, loving the life you want to live, and seeing it in your mind as you feel these feelings, I'm the person who, for example, you begin to memorize the frequency of that person. When we memorize that frequency of our highest self, we cannot simultaneously entertain thoughts of lack, unwillingness, or limitation. You can't say, I don't have it already. I'm not good enough for this, or the myriad of other lies we tell ourselves. This shift in consciousness aligns us with the good that we seek. Reason. Okay, in ministerial class, when we talked about these things, inductive and deductive, when they're doing my panel, one of the ministers said, you'll never, ever talk about this in a talk. So here it is in the first one. Reason is a powerful sense, but if we only trust what the five senses tell us, we confine ourselves to existing limitations. Science of mind teaches us that our conscious and subconscious minds work together to share the experience. So inductive reasoning, which was one of the questions, is how the conscious mind observes patterns and draws broader conclusions. It gathers experiences, forms belief, and expands understanding. An example might be if we practice kindness and we see that kindness is released back, we might conclude that when I'm kind, others are kind to me. Now, deductive reasoning operates from the opposite direction, kind of from inside out. It begins with a general belief and applies it automatically to specific situations. This is how the subconscious mind functions. It doesn't question and simply acts upon that it has as accepted truth. It applies existing beliefs to new situations. So if we believe we're not good at public speaking, our subconscious mind will reinforce this belief, making it our reality. It can happen in a positive way also. So to break free from limited thinking, we must align reason with spiritual understanding. I like that. It's one of those things we are doing in our spiritual practice. It allows us to become expansive rather than restrictive. Many of history's greatest breakthroughs, flight, electricity, the internet, were once deemed impossible. But progress has been made by those who trust in an unseen possibility before it becomes visible. It opens the door to unseen possibilities, allowing us to move beyond conditioned thought into divine wisdom. William James, who was a contemporary of Ernest Holmes back then, said, "A new idea is first condemned as ridiculous. It's then dismissed as trivial, until finally it becomes what everybody knows." That was insightful as I came across that. The moment we choose to embrace possibility, we step into a new way of being, one where we're no longer bound by the past, old limitations, or societal conditioning. Because spirit knows no limitations. It only knows expansion, creation, and becoming. Rumi reminds us, try not to resist changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. And do not worry that your life is turning upside down. How do you know that the side you are on, that you're used to, is better than the one to come? Ernest Holmes reminds us we should always expect the best and live the best so that may become part of our experience. The universe responds to our mental atmosphere, to the thoughts we dwell upon, the beliefs we hold, and the actions we take in faith. So shifting from limitation to possibility. Well, what if the very thing you've been longing for is already on its way to you, but it's waiting for you to become available? History is filled with those men who say yes despite the odds. Not them, not men. Oprah Winfrey was born into poverty, became a media icon by believing in her possibilities. Albert Einstein, dismissed as a slow learner, redefined physics through the power of his imagination. Michael Beckwith, one of our New Thought leaders, was a drug dealer. He was lost in destruction, and his destructive lifestyle was going to take him down. But then he became a New Thought leader by embracing the divine potential. And he actually did not go to jail. He was about to. And the judge said, "You've just been given your life back." Helen Keller, blind and deaf, became a world-renowned author and activist through faith and perseverance and through Anne Sullivan helping her so much. And of course, we have Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison. 27 years in prison, did not come out embittered, but he emerged with a vision of reconciliation that changed a nation. Okay, we're all sitting here, we're all not in our 20s. You might be. So it's important for us to realize it's never too late. Colonel Sanders didn't start KFC until his 60s. Ray Kroc was in his 50s doing milkshake machines before he even met the McDonald's brothers. Laura Ingalls Wilder published Little House on the Prairie at 65. Anybody remember Grandma Moses, the folk? She didn't start painting seriously until she was 78. So for us to sit here and say, well, it's too late for me and stuff like that, it's kind of BS. So it's important. Your possibilities are not determined by time, age, or circumstance, is what that means to us. They're determined by your willingness to say yes to Spirit's unfolding within you. What does this teach us? Well, it teaches that Spirit is never done with us. There's no too late. As long as we are alive, there's potential waiting to be realized. So we should be living as a divine creator. The truth is, you are not here to simply get by. You're here to create, expand, and express the fullness of God in unique and magnificent ways. Your possibilities are infinite because you are an individualized expression of the infinite. So today, let's release every thought of lack, every belief in limitation, every excuse that has kept us small. Instead, let's stand boldly in the awareness that the Spirit is for us, never against us. And as we align with this truth, miracles unfold. And so I invite you to take a deep breath. Open your heart to possibility. What is Spirit calling forth in you today? What new idea, what new opportunity, what new expression of life is ready to emerge through you? So repeat this after me. Let's say this, we can't say it together because I don't have it on a slide. She would have, but I didn't. Today I open my heart and mind to infinite possibility. I trust in the divine wisdom that guides me. The imagination that envisions my highest good. And the will that moves me forward. I am a limitless expression of Spirit. And so it is.